Good morning, Alan. This is Paul Georgi from Allendale. It's September 9th, 2010. The outside market's relatively quiet here this morning. Dollar down 8, crude oil up 73, and the stock indices, the Dow Jones Index up 60 here this morning. The news is relatively quiet, but the stories that we've got coming out here this morning have got more of a bearish twist to them than recent days when any story was considered bullish. So some of the news out here this morning, the Chinese had selected or suggested that they were going to probe the rubber market in China because of its sharp moves. That caused a huge decline in rubber prices and in other commodities related and traded on the Dalian exchange here last night. So we've seen pressure in soybean oil, and copper is another contract where we've seen a lot of pressure come because of this rumor of probe in China. The majority of the commodities here in the U.S., corn, wheat, have been under pressure mainly because of profit taking. Some evening up here ahead of the USDA report on Friday morning. That report is getting a lot of hype here, anticipating yield, average yield production here in corn and soybeans. The thing that we're seeing is a lot of the trade is expecting, or the trade average, I guess you might say, is coming out around 163 bushels per acre on corn. The feeling by traders on the floor is that they're trading more of a 160 type market, maybe even less than that, as far as how they feel and why they have been buying this market here recently. So the big question is what's going to happen if the report comes out in line with what the trade, the analysts are suggesting that the USDA might put out. Is the trade going to believe it? Are they going to discount it and say, okay, we're going to buy it anyway because the yield is a lot less? We are getting some reports from producers around the country now that are into more in the northern central Illinois area, the northern regions, and yields there are coming in pretty good, in excess of 200 bushel acres in some cases. So starting to see a little more of a balance than what we've seen in the early yields in southern Illinois and Indiana. Some of the other news, export sales this morning, 60,000 tons of oil to China, soybean oil. Those are big numbers and good support for the soybean complex. However, we do have a lot of oil around, and stockpiles of soybean oil here in the U.S. are plentiful, so we need to move some of that. Also reported this morning, 220,000 tons of wheat sold to unknown destinations. Japan bought wheat overnight on a tender and split between the U.S., Canada, and Australia. Stats Canada come out with their numbers yesterday, showed that 19% more wheat than a year ago on the ending stock, so that's a bit negative. Egypt bought wheat from France, and grain stocks in Russia also reported at 26 million tons. Trade was expecting it to be around 21.5 to 24 million tons. So a little more wheat found there might ease some of the emotion that we've seen in these markets. Expect a sideways trade here today, however, ahead of the USDA report. Some more position evening, probably staying within trading ranges that we've established here as that report comes out tomorrow morning. Cattle trade, we've seen a little firmer trade late yesterday. 97 paid early, 98 paid late. In Texas, Kansas 97 to 97.5, 154 paid for cattle in Nebraska. Cutout values there were a little lower. Choice down 28, Select down 47. We've got technical support on the cattle at 96.30. Resistance here today at 97.85 in the October contract. In the hogs, pork cutout values were down 47. Cash markets are a little stronger here today, up 50 cents, as packers need to fill needs and get enough supply around them going into next week. The futures market a little higher here overnight. Had a nice rally yesterday, getting some follow through there this morning. Technically, support at 74.75 in the October, resistance up around that 77.55 area. If you got any questions, give us a call here at Allendale. We'll be happy to answer those for you. Stay tuned. We'll get you the details tomorrow morning on this USDA report and export sales as well. We wish everybody a very successful trading day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Thank you.